So I want to write the PTE, but I don't really know where to start from. Where do I start preparing from? What is PTE all about? Also, what is the structure? I don't understand it. And what is the scoring? When they say they need me to get 6.5 equivalent, like in the IELTS, what score do I need to get for me to get that 6.5 equivalent in the IELTS? Hi, and welcome again to my channel. My name is Juliet. I'm a Pearson Test of English tutor. Now, all the things you saw me asking before I started this video are the things that new students always ask, or people that want to start, people that want to write the Pearson Test of English for the very first time. That is what they ask, okay? So I'll be delving into those questions one after the other in this video. Please, if you're new to my channel, remember to give this video a thumbs up. Please remember to hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to my channel. It's free. We are going faster. We are going higher to the higher level, okay? So click on the subscribe button because it's free. Why not? All right. So today's topic is PTE preparation for beginners. Yeah. So I went on my research button on my analytics on the PTE, and this was one video that people are always searching for on YouTube. So I'm going to be delving into it. And recently, some people would always also ask me, what do I need to score in the PTE if they ask me to get a 6.5 equivalent in the IELTS? So I'll be talking about all these things in this thing. So if you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button. And if it's your first time to write the PTE, please give rapt attention. Don't get distracted. And get your book, because your girl has got her book and her pen, because I always write down these things here so I know exactly how I'm going to address each of this topic, so you understand the dimension of this video and where exactly this video is heading to. Okay, so the first thing here is, what is PTE? PTE is another English exam, but the full meaning is Pearson Test of English, in case you didn't know. I know people say PTE, PTE, PTE. It's called Pearson Test of English. It's an international exam. It's an English test exam that assesses your language ability, especially if you're not coming from a country that speaks English predominantly. Like if you're not from the UK, the US, if you're not from Canada. Now, I'm not saying other countries don't speak English, because where I come from, we actually speak English, but we know that English is not our lingua franca, or what to speak every day. So we also have different languages that we speak. But countries like Australia, countries like America, they speak English. That's the most language they speak there. They don't speak other languages like we do in our countries. You know what I mean? Core citizens of those countries, okay? So it's an English test exam that assesses your English language ability. They want to know you're able to express yourself rationally and all that. And how is it different from other English tests? Don't forget, we have the IELTS, we have the TOEFL, IBT, we have several other English exams I cannot even think of at this point, but IELTS is the most popular one. But why PTE is different, and why I would always recommend it to test takers when they say, Juliet, do you prefer PTE to IELTS? Well, I would say yes, go for PTE. It's because PTE has an integrated system or integrated scoring type or whatever, but it's integrated. That means that of the 4 modules or 4 sessions, which comprises of speaking, writing, reading, and listening, the PTE, those modules would impact the other modules, unlike the other English tests. In a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is, in the PTE, the speaking will help you pass the reading and the listening, while the reading would help you pass the writing. The listening will help you pass both the writing and the reading. So that is the integrated system that I like in the PTE. Unlike the other English tests, if you're doing speaking, it's not adding scores to other modules or other sessions like the writing or the reading or the listening. So this is one thing that makes the PTE to be outstanding for me. I will always go for it. I look at it like an easier option, because if I know what to do and do it very well in my speaking, it can reflect on my listening and my reading, and I'll get good scores from it. Okay, so that is one thing that makes the PTE different from the other English tests. Now, what is the structure? It's got structure like other English exams. It's got 4 modules. For the PTE, they are called modules. But in the IELTS, I bet they are not called modules. I think they are called sessions. So it's still it's still of that structure of speaking, of writing, of reading and listening. And one thing about the PTE is purely computer based. There's no paper based here. And you do the exam in one day, you get your results in the same day or even 48 hours. But in 5 days, within 1 to 5 days, your results will be ready. For the IELTS, recently they now have the IELTS computer based. That one, the result comes out in 5 days. But the paper based comes out in 2 weeks or in 13 days. So you see why the PTE is different. Same day you get your result, or in 24 hours or maximum 48 hours. Yeah, except maybe you have changed name or changed address at some point, then the result begins to kind of delay, or you wrote it over the weekend, it kind of delays as well. Okay, but then that's the structure. Now and then another thing too is the task. There are 20 tasks all together in the PTE. Because the PTE has sub questions, sub questions. Let's say for instance, you can see the speaking. I'm just going to put all these things here. You can see the speaking. The speaking has like 5 sub questions underneath it. So those sub questions are called task, or those question types are called tasks. Then they have sub questions. But the thing about the sub question is the same way you do the first sub question is the same way you do the other sub question. Okay, let's say for instance, the read aloud. You have 6 or 10 of those questions in the read aloud, which is the first task under the speaking. Okay, now the same way you do one of the 6 questions, the same way you do the second one, the same way you do the third one, the same pattern, if that makes sense. Okay, so how is this scored? How are you scored? Because I wouldn't want this video to be too long. How are you scored for the Pearson test of English? I'm going to be putting it here. Yeah, so you can see the score pattern. You're scored on a scale of 0 to 90. Unlike the other ones where you have like 6.5, 5.0, 8.0, but then you can see the IELTS equivalent as well. Okay, so someone just asked me this morning, what is the PTE equivalent of 6.5 in the IELTS? And I said 6.5 is about 7 in the PTE, which is here. I don't think they've initiated the 66 score, which is equivalent to 6.5. No, 6.5 is actually not 7. I think it's 7.0 that is 7. 6.5 in the IELTS should be about 55. Yeah, 55 in the PTE. Oh, my bad. Sorry. So it should be about 55 in the PTE. So this is the score pattern. This is what it's like. If you're looking for 7.0 in the IELTS, it should be about 65 to 66 in the PTE. Then if you're also looking for so basically that means if you get 50 in the PTE is equivalent to IELTS 6. Okay, that's 50 across all modules, not just 50 overall. No, I think most of the time when it comes to Australian migration, they tell you they want 65. They want you to get 65 across all the modules or across all the sessions of speaking, writing, reading, and listening. So if you get 50 across all the modules in the PTE, it means it's equivalent to IELTS 6. Yes. Then if you get like 65, from 65 to I think 78, that's about IELTS 7. Then if you get from 79 to 90, remember it's graded from 0 to 90. So, and 10 is their default score. That means even if you don't make any attempt, they will still give you 10. But if you make an attempt, then you score from 10 and above. But then your score is graded from 0 to 90. I think they should make it 10 to 90. Yeah, I hope I'm not even making a mistake myself. So if they want you to score like equivalent of IELTS 8 to 9, that should be like about from 79 to 90. Yes, that's band 8 or 9 in the IELTS. Now, people say, oh, I heard the PTE is easy, therefore they don't put in effort. You'll be so shocked when you don't put in effort. Now, it's not like the PTE is not easy. And I would not say it's not difficult as well. Now, if you know exactly what you should do, then the work would have been done to some extent, okay? Then you will be prepared to go in. And I want to talk about how to prepare. Now, remember that there is speaking, there's writing, there's listening, and there's reading. There's a way to prepare. You don't just prepare, because all the tasks in the PTE will not give you the same score or give you the same mark. So that means that there's some tasks that will give you more scores than the other tasks. Some tasks would impact your scores heavily. Let's say, for instance, the read aloud and the repeat sentence, the first two tasks in the speaking module. The speaking module is the first module you see in the exam after the introduction and everything. Okay, so the speaking module is the first module, and then it has 5 tasks: the read aloud, the repeat sentence, describe image, retell lecture, and answer short question. But the first two, the read aloud and repeat sentence, would impact your reading and your listening scores respectively. So read aloud will impact your reading score, while the repeat sentence will impact your listening score. They're not just giving you 5 marks, like I would always say. So the read aloud will give you between 25 to 35 marks. That's give the reading module 25 to 35 marks. So, I mean, why play? So that's why you need to know how to prepare. Don't just prepare on your own without maybe watching YouTube videos. I'm not saying you must get a tutor, okay? I mean, you can practice it without getting a tutor, but just know that it might not be so easy for you, because a tutor will actually guide you right, but you can still do it on your own. Now, if you know exactly the tasks that you should prepare for, it makes it easier for you. That means that the for the repeat sentence, you would have like it will give you like 40 to 45 marks to your listening. So how do you prepare? How do you go about the preparation? If you know what to do, it makes it easier, like I would say. So watch YouTube videos. What do I need to do? Do I need to build up my fluency? Do I need to do my pronunciation? What are the things I need to do to give me that high score so that I can have a high score across the other modules? How about the writing? Do I need to put in all my eggs trying to write essay? Like, would I need to write like 100 essays like in the IELTS when I'm preparing to do the IELTS writing? No. For the PTE, you don't even really need to stress yourself so much trying to practice hundreds of essays. You can just practice quite a few essays, like 5 to 10 essays before you go into the exam. This is because the PTE writing would not even give you a lot of scores for your writing module. The PTE writing will depend so much on the PTE reading and the PTE listening. So this is how you prepare. What are those tasks that are important? You write them down. If you're first of all, also it depends on the score you're looking for. Now, if you're looking for 50 across all modules, you don't need to stress so much. Just know the basic things to do. If you're looking for 65, then you need to put in effort. Then if you're looking for 79, then that is where you need to put in more effort. Okay, don't just cross your leg and say, I watched Julia's video and she did say that the test is not difficult. Please, I didn't say that. If you're looking for a very high score like that band 8 or let's say 79 and above, then you need to put in some work. Okay, you need to know those tasks that you need to focus on, because that is what gives you all the score. I don't know if I'm making sense. Okay, so let's say for instance, if you're looking for 79, you should know those important tasks. Let's say the read aloud, the repeat sentence, reading and writing, fill in the blanks, and write from dictation. These are the 4 most important tasks that you should focus on. That doesn't mean that reading, fill in the blanks, read other paragraphs, write essay, listening, fill in the blanks, summarize spoken text, that they don't, or highlighting correct words, that it will not help you. They will also help you, but there is something about most important, and less important. If you know those tasks that are most important, you put in more effort there. Okay, you know those ones that are important, you put in most important, more important, you put in effort. Then the ones that are less important, you just try to do 1 or 2 practice of them before you get into the exam. But if you do not know the most important task, the more important ones before the important ones, if you just go ahead and practice things just randomly without knowing what you're doing, then I'm sorry to say you'll be making a mistake. So there is need for you to know how to prepare before you get in there. So I think I've left you with so much to think about here. So there is most important, there is more important, there is important. And I did say the most important ones are the read aloud, the repeat sentence, reading and writing, fill in the blanks, and write from dictation. These are the most important. You can also add the reading, fill in the blanks. These are tasks that will boost your scores across the other modules and make you be comfortable. That doesn't mean that the other ones won't also help you. They will help take you to 79 or even 65, as the case may be. So I think I've been able to exhaust most of the things I've written down here for PTE preparation for beginners. It shouldn't actually be a Herculean task or something so difficult, okay? So if you have understood what PTE is and how it is different from the other English tests and the structure, that I talked about the modules, the 4 modules, and I talked about the task, I talked about the scoring, and I've shared how to prepare. If you know these things, then you're already prepared. Then above all, what I would always say is try out the official mock Pearson scored test. I know I always call it mock test. It's actually called a score test. If you try out the official score test, it's easier for you to know where you stand, because if you're looking for 65 and you're getting 30, your 30s or 40s in the scored mock test, then you need to like step up. Another thing I would say, don't fix the exam and then prepare to write it. No, but prepare first, do the PS and the score test, then to help you know where you stand before you write the exam. I hope this video will help you, and I hope you stay safe. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.